the retirement.
Any
I'll call the meeting to order.
any of those three things, I think should be
Are there any additions or amendments to the minutes of the
I
previous
assume.
meeting?
I just had one clarification, that was the truck should be sending in that plural.
On that license for highway.
Here we go. Otherwise I'll make a motion with a correction. So after the minutes.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed, nay? Minutes adopted as amended. Any comments from the audience? All right.
Okay. I'll be as brief as possible. You're familiar with the home rule decision. I'm sure all of you are. This is a unanimous and unequivocal decision. The towns won on all points. This decision upholds the power of local town boards, which have already acted to protect their communities with a ban against fracking, and gives courage to those that are still considering such steps. The appellate division found that there was neither express preemption of local zoning powers nor implied preemption. In one of my favorite quotes, the court discussed the industry's argument that statutory provisions fostering energy development and prohibiting waste required a finding of preemption. The court stated that there was no support of this interpretation. This does not equate to an intention to require oil and gas drilling operations to occur in each and every location where such resource is present, regardless of the land uses existing in that locale. Indeed, the policy of the OGSML, the Oil and Gas Solution Mining Law, explicitly seeks to protect the rights of all persons, including landowners and the general public, not just the owners of oil and gas properties such as petitioner, a goal which is realized when individual municipalities can determine whether drilling activities are appropriate for their respective communities. We owe an enormous debt of gratitude to the town boards, to the town boards of the towns of Middlefield and Dryden for having the courage to take the steps to protect their communities. Next, we must thank the citizens who supported their towns in the face of sometimes intense pressure and threats from this industry. This is even a good day to be a lawyer. We have some excellent lawyers in our community who contributed their skill at dramatically discounted rates for pro bono because this cause is right. We thank Michelle Kennedy, Doug Zanellis, Helen and David Slody, Marianne Long, Deborah Goldberg of Earth Justice, Kate Sinding of NRDC, and the firms on the briefs and the amicus briefs. We have earned the right to celebrate. This is a huge victory. My point in all this is, if you guys were worried about litigation, you no longer have to worry about litigation.
Anyone else?
Yes. Actually, I just wanted to mention that to date there are 40 municipalities in New York State that have bans, and there's 99 that have moratorias in New York State. Municipalities with bans in Otsego County are Cherry Valley, Middlefield, Milford, New Lisbon, City of Oneonta, Otsego, Plainfield, Roseboom, Springfield, keep going, with moratoria, Butternuts, Oneonta, Otsego. Municipalities with bans in New York State also include Albany, Guilderland, Summerland, Oxford, Andes, Beacon, Buffalo, Wales, Brighton, Perrington, Niagara Falls, Wilson, Augusta, Marshall, New Hartford, Rome, Camillus, Marcellus, Onondaga, Otisco, Skaneateles, Spafford, and Syracuse.
City and Town of Geneva, Fulton, Bethel, Forestburg, Highlands, Lumberland, Dustin, Caroline, Danby, Dryden, Ithaca, Trumansburg, Ulysses, Rochester, Walworthson, Woodstock, Jerusalem. Municipalities with moratoria in New York State include Berne, Rensselaerville, Westerlo, Alfred, Yorkshire, Genoa, Ledyard, Locke, Moravia, Niles, Senate, Germantown, Cortlandville, Sydney, Colden, Oppenheim, Stafford, Little Falls, Manheim, Newport, and Avon.
And continuing that, Caledonia, Conesus, Geneseo, Lima, Livonia, Mount Morris, Nunda, Portage, Sparta, Springwater, Brookfield, Eaton, Lenox, Lincoln, Mendon, Penfield, the City of Rochester, Rush, Minden, St. Johnsville, Ansville, Ava, Boonville, Camden, Clinton, and Deerfield, Lawrence, Floyd, Forestport, Kirkland, Paris, Remsen, Sangerfield, Steuben, Trenton, Utica, Vernon, Verona, Vienna, Westmoreland, Whitestown, and DeWitt.
And continuing from there, Fabius, Lafayette, Tully, Bristol, Canandaigua, Gorman, Hopewell, Manchester, Naples, Richmond, South Bristol, West Bloomfield, Bayheim, not that Bayheim, Richmondville, Scaberry, Sharon, Sharon Springs, Waterloo, Wayne, Owego, the village of, Enfield, Lansing, Newfield, Olive, Huron, Barrington, Bedton, Middlesex, Milo, Penn Yan, Starkey, and Torrey. Didn't even know there were so many towns in New York State.
Anyone else? Not going to move on to John? Yep.
Hey, guys. You asked me to come in to discuss a matter in regards to workers' compensation and
General, field general questions. If anybody has questions on liability.
yeah, insurance.
Yeah, I guess I started the ball rolling, John. I was listening with you the other day when you were calling us. John, for protocol, David Johnson being a board member had several questions to me about the procedures and stuff of when people work for us, when the different issues of who's covered, where's covered, what's covered. I don't think our comp is with you. Our comp is with the county, right?
It's county, yeah, self-insured.
But in the event that somebody does work for us in our building or on their building, on their site, what is the procedure we should have? Especially if somebody, say, does work on a truck and there's no official garage certificate saying that they're a registered repair shop. What procedure should we take as a town? That was David's question to me, that we should take to assure ourselves.
Any time I'll address someone coming to to come work in the town, not off,
Right.
taking a truck or something to their place. Anytime you hire a subcontractor, the first thing you definitely need to do is request certificates of insurance. You should have proof that they have general liability coverage. You should probably, in my opinion, you should ask them to have $1 million of liability coverage. That would protect the town from, if they injure someone, they're going to sue that person. They're also going to sue the town. You just want to make sure that they have liability coverage in place, and they should be named as additional insured. They can get a certificate.
He names additional insured, just not a certificate of insurance.
Exactly, both. The certificate holder and additional insured. Then there's the workers' comp issue. Do you require these people to have workers' compensation? Because as you know or may not know, by law, a sole proprietor is not required to carry workers' compensation. Where you really have to be careful is heights, working at heights is the main issue. There's certain labor law issues out there that if you fall from height, and a height can be a foot. I mean, it doesn't have to be a story. If that person falls and injures themselves, and you as the owner of the property can be held responsible for his injuries. If he has the workers' compensation, that's going to step up first. That will protect him, and will make him less likely to go after the town in that regard. So if the person is not working in heights, I don't see it as a real issue that they don't have workers' compensation. In a perfect world, yes, you should require that, but that's not always an option. It's not always feasible. So I would say require everyone to have workers' compensation. It's not a requirement. At the most, if they're working any kind of height, a carpenter is working on a building and like that, definitely make them, I'd go to them and make sure they have workers' compensation. I know that puts a huge burden on the locals, one-man operation. And you don't have to, you really don't, you don't have to do that, but that would be my recommendation. As far as the garage operator, some guys coming on your premises, I don't know, working on a truck, I don't see a huge issue with workers' comp. Definitely make sure he has garage liability. He should also have garage keeper's legal liability, because while he's working on that truck, he's got that truck is in his care, and you would want to make sure that if he damages the truck, it's covered as well. So at a minimum, garage liability, $1 million for that scenario. And as far as the contractor, $1 million of general liability, probably with workers' compensation, absolutely with workers' compensation, he's working heights. Is that thoughts, questions?
So if we've got somebody coming in to do electrical, independent person,
I'd give my recommendation to make sure he has workers' compensation. It's not an absolute, but it would be my recommendation.
Definitely, being that as a liability, something gets burned down.
Oh, yeah. You don't let anyone step on foot. Without liability, no way. Don't let that happen at all. The real sticking point is workers' comp, because workers' comp is very expensive and it's very difficult. And most of these one-man operations don't carry it. It's expensive. They don't want it, so they avoid it.
But you need it if you're doing sub work for someone else.
What happens is if you're doing some work for someone else, and see, I don't know how the self-insurance group works for the towns, or the county, but if you...
They base it on number of employees doing particular, they must have a formula, highway keeper.
Do they come in and audit you, or?
No, every year they have a questionnaire that comes out with the number of people, including board members, part-time, full-time positions, and then the number of claims that they're paying. Municipalities with a higher claim rate are paying more, and it's all pooled, and Benetech is the administrator. I don't know if you're familiar with Benetech.
A third-party administrator.
Right. They administer the claims.
Right. Do they ask what subcontractors you hire?
No.
So in the private market, and state insurance fund and private carriers, what they're doing these days is, if you're a contractor and you hire a sub to work for you, or you hire, if you've got a policy, if that person can't provide you with a certificate of workers' compensation insurance, that person goes on to your policy. That's probably not the case what's going on here, so it's a little different being this self-insured program. So what happens is the GCs make sure all their subcontractors pick it up, and it kind of is a way that everyone pulling everyone into the system, really. So it's coming more and more that even the little guy's going out and get it because he needs it, because the general contractors won't let them come and work for them because they don't want to get charged for that payroll. General liability, absolutely. Workers' compensation, certainly any heights, flat work, someone puts on the ground. I'm happy to review any certificates, if you want to do that. Shoot it over to me and I'll take a look at it. So we'll do that as well. Any other issues, questions? Yeah.
Yeah, mine was more for David. David was asking me a lot of questions, and I can say a lot, but it doesn't mean nothing until it comes from somebody like yourself, and that's why I asked Pete to say, maybe I should come in, because there was some,
What would our situation be with lawn mowing, snow shoveling, that kind of stuff?
Make sure that general liability, I would say make sure that general liability, workers' comp. Probably nothing wrong.
you know, that would put on your payroll.
Yeah, do that. Temp work, they'll be covered by their
Mayor comp and
comp.
stuff.
That's always one way to get around it. Good. All right.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Sure, good, no problem.
Thanks.
How the kids is that?
Well,
On to bills. No, that's a copy of a resolution that we're going to be doing.
Telling us.
Deep bells.
Just a normal. Pretty good price per there.
Is that Hanson?
15, 25 tons, it's a pretty good price for a pen.
Yeah. There's some over 20.
Yep, there.
See, you had excavator.
Yeah, Leisner was $2,000. We shopped it around, once I got it through, we got it from Shane. 1,300. That's pretty good, I thought. Pretty close to 40 hours.
I see that and it becomes a winger, but I forgot it's snarl.
But the suspension of electric problems on it. Old South Side. Old South Side.
You know where Frazier's used to be though?
Yeah.
Right up on top. He was the railroad for the road, Marabble over the years, and he was their head man. He went up there, and Wayne Heimers brought that property from auction, and had a big garage, and went up there and opened up there.
Almost what I've ever seen.
Hey, that's not bad.
Usually $4,000.
What's that?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it isn't. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta do it.
Yeah. tire though.
I have one on furniture.
Yeah, we filled up two in the better part of the river. Rain like crazy most of the time, it slowed it down a bit. and as much as-
Never fails, it always rains. You had a few extra time to it. What a wait.
Yeah, enough steels and parts to do the short side roads parking lot of Murphy's old building.
Yep. But, we've did it several times, and nobody comes close to it. I just bid mine down there on tech company with American Rental Association, which is all over the US, and which is supposed to be the cheapest anywhere. Anytime you got done, they were 32,000, and John was 23, and $9,000 difference.
The liability's been fairly stable
Yeah.
the past 4 years.
We haven't had any big call, any no claims on it too.
And it was, years prior to that, it was going up at a substantial rate. Medical insurance, that's what it is. I wouldn't get that either.
Okay. Not being to be done.
It's the chair.
Oh, here, okay. I was trying to figure out accessibility solutions. I couldn't quite figure out how-
It's the annual
Inspection and,
inspection and maintenance. What? He doesn't have to change. Oh.
They clean the carpet upstairs?
Yes, upstairs, downstairs.
looks like it's upper back through there.
Is there a motion authorizing the supervisor to pay the orderly claims?
So moved.
Is there a second?
One or the other.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Carried. The first thing I had, I'd like to introduce, discuss this at the last meeting, naming the unnamed road at intersection with Naylor. I need to introduce a resolution naming the road, Naylor Road Extension.
I'll move it.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution adopted. Second resolution is a intermunicipal agreement with the town of Lawrence regarding shared services and responsibilities when working together.
Make a motion to adopt the resolution.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Resolution adopted. I give everybody a copy of a letter from the Joseph and Julie Dentel, who own property off Shelley Road, complaining about unauthorized dumping on their property. Everybody have a copy?
Yeah, that's it.
I know. You did? I think you got one in the mail. Just for me.
Just like it went through there. Yeah.
Any comments on it, or?
Well, yeah, I think we gotta talk about it. I don't know, you know, we gotta talk about it.
I agree, we can't put it up, can't, whenever.
We got 50 miles worth of that.
Every secluded road, we get the same thing, tires, garbage.
It's one thing that's on the right away of the road. But, you know, if it gets on somebody's property, you can't clean everybody, you can't clean people's property up either. I mean, that's.
A right of way is pretty substantial. You get a narrow road like that, a right of,
That's true too, but I mean.
a right of way is 3 rods, so 49.5 feet. So we're,
On the center of the road?
no, that's the entire road.
The whole road.
So we're 29,
Rod and a half, 27 feet around.
16 and a half.
And a lot of it is on the road.
So 49 and a half, have that be 24 foot 9 inches from the center of the road. That road's 10 feet wide, so you're talking 20 feet into the woods, up and down both sides of Shelley Road, and every other seasonal road we have.
Yeah, that's true
Like,
too.
hell, you know,
Light Hill's terrible, the Gulf is terrible.
John, if it ever got picked up, somehow we figured a way to get some of it picked up, at least within our right of way. I know there would always be some, because I know Steve McWilliams, and I'm going back to Steve, Jake can remember, we used to pay to have the tires picked up, they took them all going out of here and there, got rid of them. Different times, I can remember that. How much a job do you think will be? I mean, some of this is a couple of years accumulation along these roads. If we could get it picked up at one time, how much do you think it'd be? It'd be some, but to go along and I guess you'd have to take a tractor along, pick some of that stuff up just to put it in a bucket or a truck. How much a job do you think it'd be to clean these roads? My only thought is, damn, I live in the town of Morris and like to have a little pride in the town of Morris.
I live here too. We got
I just don't argue, I'm just asking.
I'm not arguing with you. We got 50 miles of road though.
I'm just asking.
How do you pick out which 100 feet to do?
I'm not saying
Explain
to
to the
start
other.
with, I'm saying maybe there's a way, maybe a rotary project, maybe something to go along and get the initial pickup done. But once it got done, how long do you think would it take? A week, a year of work with a highway crew to go along and pick it up? Would it take 2 days? I mean, it varies, I know. And the biggest thing that would stop it is, you know, prosecution of somebody if we could ever catch it, but that just doesn't happen.
What's the attraction there? Is there a turnoff that?
There's just no road, there's no house, there's nothing.
No houses.
Seasonal.
Is there anything the property owner can do to assist in?
Well, I mean,
It's just being
they're willing to bring it down to.
Yeah, they were willing to bring it down if we paid to get rid of
No,
it.
we're not, we can't.
Oh, I realize
we
that,
can't-
but I'm just saying it's.
They got everything up there too. It's not just the 2 dozen tires laying around. They got TV sets and they got electronics and tires and all kinds of stuff.
Well, the tires we couldn't take, but the rest of them we could accept, and if it's in town of Morris, we could get rid of it, we'd have to accept it, right? I mean.
Well, the electronic
The elec-
walls have to go.
The
somewhere else, too.
electronic
Yeah.
roads too.
Oh, yeah.
They've got a private land off of Light Road.
Well,
They've got a dump started.
yeah, I know.
I mean, a pretty good size.
Yeah, up there on the right, going up the hill, yeah.
I don't know who, but, you know, there's all kinds of stuff.
Hey Royce,
Dude,
put a trail cam, tell the owners, put a cam up.
Well, yeah, the trouble is they're flashing that everything goes by, that's, you know.
Put one on every tree too.
Yeah.
well, I actually thought about doing that.
But, you know, I guess my question is us people that live in our town of Morris, you know, we talk about the houses in the village getting deteriorated, fix them up, this and that. People come into town from outside, look at property, look at this, I mean, I just think we that live in a town, ought to have a little pride in our town. I'm not saying for the town highway to go out there and live doing it, I'm just saying is there other options, there's something we could do to at least knock this down. With other towns, they do some of it, they do pick up some of it. I don't know. I'm just throwing this up on the floor.
I don't think we could do it in a week in the summer.
After it's clean once.
After it's clean once, it'd be a lot faster. I don't know how long it, you know, it's not just a couple year thing. Stuff's been piling up.
Oh,
on
I
Shelley Road
understand now.
forever.
My question was, if we could get it cleaned up somehow, how long would it take to maintain?
I don't know how fast the stuff comes back, you know? Tires you gotta pay to get rid of, so that's awful deal, and to chuck them off the side of the road.
I get a tire pile, you won't believe the amount of tires that appear there that aren't ours. Unbelievable. The weekend, you go in there, and there's 10, 15 tires and go over the weekend. I don't know.
I don't know, I went and picked up my own man.
That's what we do too.
It was mattress day, so I got how much was a recliner and a mattress and 3 tires, which I have to eat, but I don't know. Of course, I have a pickup truck.
I mean, different groups do different things like highway, pickup and stuff like that. I mean, it would be a massive undertaking for a community service project. There's no doubt about it doing it the first time. It'd be just massive. But
We got the tools to do it with the thumb and the trucks. You know, like I said, I can't do one strip somewhere and don't explain to the rest of the town.
well, I understand. That wasn't my question at this point.
In any, we'd have to do it all. And a lot of them aren't bad, you know. You get houses around, it doesn't show up. Even the roads that aren't seasonal, where there doesn't have to be any houses, you got the state land in the Demicalo and Hillsinger and Woods Road, just a few buildings.
I was thinking something like, anybody could get Boy Scouts and projects, they take the road someplace that have to have supervision, at least go get the stuff up on the roadside at the road, and then somebody else would go with them and see if we couldn't pick up some of them, work along. I was just thinking maybe we could clean some of them up somehow, but once it got done, do we just let it happen again, or is there a way to,
I don't know, it's not,
you know?
camera, if you're that lucky to get.
Once they build their house up there, it ain't gonna show up anymore.
Well, it'll be right there, but.
Now right there,
It's gonna push it up your way more.
Anybody else got any opinions?
24.9 for the center, is what it is.
Yeah, we're at 17. Yeah, we're at 17.
do better with the community thing, because we have somebody do it. Like he said, these everybody's gonna be on it.
Well, there's no idea. I mean, I'm saying if we did it the first time, it has to be done, figure it out, but after that, you know, if you go along and see a tire tool,
Throw it on.
you can pick it up and throw it on, and not let it get started. Be wonderful to catch them sometime.
Was it big stuff up there, the couches?
Oh, couches, refrigerators,
Anything we can think of.
TVs.
Is that bad?
TVs, cars, car parts, hoods and trucks and stuff like that. Down in the golf,
You drive up there,
there's
really.
half a car and a whole bunch of furniture.
Yeah.
Not in the golf, in the ravine on Light Hill.
At this location here, there's car parts.
So,
What I'm looking at is there,
Not metal stuff,
It's-
fiberglass stuff.
is part of it is material that you can trace to the destination.
I don't think so.
It's just like old TV cases and this and that. Was a refrigerator, I don't know if that's still
I
there.
cleaned up several files off there, and one time was bags of kids' toys, and, video games and like that. I went through the bags, just trying to find something in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's what we used to do is
And they had nothing.
fill out these stuffers.
That's pretty careful, I think.
Sometimes, sometimes not.
Yeah. Well,
I tell you, but I don't know how you monitor it, John. I would personally invest in a trail cam for you to put up there, but I don't know, every car goes by, it flip on, I mean,
oh, you get a lot of pictures.
Yeah, and you'd get about 15 foot of road.
but you'd have to do it where they're dumping as a, try it, but you would never get it all. I agree
If
with you.
you got a picture of a pickup with
Joke in the back of it.
junk in the back. and then you could go and see what junk is.
Mhm.
You could maybe get something, but, because I thought about doing it. Because I have two trails in my
Or put signs up where you want.
Well, that's, I mean, it won't stop it, but it wouldn't hurt, at least it shows we're making a little effort, but. And we do have that
They're probably steal
in
signs.
place about illegal dumping in the town because,
Or shoot them.
when Butternuts brought all that medical waste in down there, we did do, something for illegal dumping in the town and everything else, but, and we've got the laws in place, but
Well, it's,
gotta catch them.
it's a state violation.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a local law, it's litter, you know, it's not their property. You can have a dump on your own property. Apparently,
You gotta bury it,
the,
right?
You could bury anything on
Yeah.
there. Or pretty much.
If it's generated,
it's generated, that apparently, they're not generating tires, so they're being deposited by somebody.
And they're all different size stuff, and like they said, there's they just showed up, there's four-wheeler tires stacked up. But it's, you know, it's off the road on their property. They're not putting stuff in the road and us throwing it over there or anything like that. You know. Be a massive undertaking.
So how are we gonna respond to,
You definitely gotta respond to them one way or another. Maybe we could tell Pete that the stuff that the town of Morris does accept, metal. What else do we accept in the,
Well, like last weekend, we had the mattress there, but you can get rid of almost everything.
you can't get rid of your
Everything with
tires.
tires, electronics.
Right. But you got a lot of stuff you can get rid of.
They could bring it, the stuff that we don't take, like electronics and tires would have to be taken to a approved site someplace.
Also,
most accepts tires, accepts electronics, everything. There's a fee for the tires.
Heimer takes tires too. Heimer takes tires.
He probably charges the same as.
Yeah, I think so. They're in 5 or something.
I guess, get back, compose a letter and tell them that, they're not alone, that other properties, other, say rural properties or unpopulated roads have the same problem. To do theirs would lead into doing 50 miles of road. I mean, this would be too big a.
it take a lot of resources, it take a lot of time and a lot of money to even unload this stuff, get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. My problem is, I just think we gotta have some pride in the town. That's my problem.
Get it all together. I was gonna pick up the stuff for Lake Hill.
In the ravine.
Well, not at the bottom,
I was gonna do it too, until I
but
looked closer at it.
by the other thing, there's mattress.
Yeah.
No place, that's very nice, and I don't know how to pick that up. It was a flood truck load.
We worked on Bailey today, and there's a gun, right on Bailey Road, up at the bridge. Just stuff on every single road we got.
I respond to him that, the items on their property is their responsibility. It's a law enforcement issue. And the town will not be removing the debris, you know, it's property owner's responsibility.
But could you say that certain things could be taken to our transfer station? They're taxpayer in town, they have the same privilege
Oh, yeah.
as anybody else.
And on certain
That
days.
it seems to be the tires are their major issue. Then we can't accept that.
No.
Used to, right?
We used to have a tire day way back, but it got so it did not, you know what, I'll tell you what it was, and that's one of the reasons we stopped it, basically. A few people put tires in there. There was quite a while, there was a lot of people used it. But the last time they used it, and I guess I asked to stop it, because I felt like it was a tire day for Webster's Pavement. Seriously, I don't think a lot of people brought tires in there except for us. And I said, well, that's not right. So we just load them on and take them to Leon Pay Farm. And there's not a lot of, there is a few tires around, but you don't see people calling for tires or anything like you used to. There used to be a lot of tires around, but no, it wasn't right to do it for just one or two private individuals.
How long has that been?
God, 10 years, 5 years?
The,
Pete was on the board when we,
the tires, the first year we did it, we got over a tractor trailer.
yeah.
That was free of charge. That was
County or something.
county
Mhm.
funded. Then, when we started charging $1 per tire, that's when the tires
Stop it.
stopped coming in.
Thought of going back to Shelley Road.
Yeah, that was the minimum rate.
Yeah, that's what I said, that just felt like they were just doing it for us, and they're on the truck, we had to pay for them anyway, must have go right down the alley. It's been quite a while.
Well, it was, you know, if it's free of charge, you know, they'll bring them in. Yeah, but, so I'll respond to them. That's, Finance Committee met prior to the beginning of the meeting, reviewed the supervisors and the clerk collector's financial reports for the month of April. That's all I have. John?
I have a list of potential specifications for the next pickup.
Oh, yeah, give us the results of your research on.
State bid. The only state bid pickup truck is, a one-ton pickup truck is a quad cab. So, we don't need one of those. It's only a couple thousand more than a regular cab. Time we get a 8-foot box on a quad cab, you might as well use the grader to plow the streets. Long as a boxcar.
Smooth ride.
Smoother to ride so, I'd say we have to go competitive bid. Try to state bid. They have a half-ton regular cab. Ford 150. The only 350 is the Ford quad cab. If we go with electric spreader, the two manufacturers of those I talked to both advised dual batteries, and that would require either two normal alternators or one oversized alternator to keep them charged up. And if you got a failure on the spreader, you don't lose your everything is so dependent on electric anymore. If you have spreader problem, you don't lose the whole truck, you can still get back to shop and sort it out. I got bids for the plows and spreaders, that's gonna be close to 10 for the two of them, about 5 apiece. For the low bids. Because they're under 10, we don't have to go competitive bid on those bids.
We're gonna bid them separately or as a unit? They'll be installed for that price or?
Yeah, that's the install prices. They're,
An engine, just busy truck, that's all.
yeah.
What do you have to get quotes or something?
Yeah, 3, whoever, there's not that many manufacturers.
Right, there's different vendors though. The top two are both Fisher and the bottom is Fairfall. But they're comparable horsepowers and capacities. Take the same amount of stuff. So everything seems comparable with everything. We could,
There was nothing, there's no state.
so, if you bought a state bid truck, you'd have to go to a state bid dealer, which is somewhere out by Rochester, I think. And they're also a salesman for Fisher. So they give you municipal pricing, which is the same the more local dealers give you for municipal pricing from Fisher. So everybody has about the same markup, and there's no deal on, other than the municipal pricing, there's no deal on plows or the spreaders. It's just getting it from a state bid dealer that will put it on. You're only dealing with one company. So, 2 salesmen or 3 salesmen.
Are you gonna bid one brand or multiple brands?
We're multiple brands already. We're Fisher and Airflow on the
No,
top.
I mean the truck.
The truck's pretty vague. Probably hand deliver our
What do you have
specs
in there
to-
for motor?
Hmm?
What did you have in there for motor?
I don't-
I think you gotta spec that motor down, you're gonna end up with 6-cylinder motor in that truck.
We'll put a 6, you don't get
But
a
I'm
6.
saying, you can do,
might get a low power.
you can do something, you gotta spec something on the motor.
I'm not doing a brand,
Just
whatever the best deal is.
Right, but I think you gotta say at least so many horsepower or something, you gotta come in there with something on that. Or you're gonna get lowballed to beat the devil, and you talk about not having power enough, you won't have.
What's your truck?
Mine?
Yeah.
Mine's 6.2.
What's yours?
6.
What's a Dodge?
I wouldn't go smaller than 6.2 or 6.
Make it at least
I would.
6 liter?
Yeah, you're not happy. The one you got is a 5.4, right?
Yeah.
And you're not happy with that?
That doesn't happen.
Wow, yeah, what we do is we'll,
Well, that's what I'm saying, you gotta go in there,
You gotta load it up a hill,
you gotta have something in there for, or you gotta get not what you want.
so have at least 6 cubic,
6 liter.
6 liters cubic displacement.
At least say.
I would say.
Everything else on there seem reasonable? Well, I can, if you approve this, I'll take a copy to Chevy, Dodge, and Ford. Whoever wins, wins, as long as they meet the specs.
Another thing you might want to talk about, Dale, no, you're running the single axle, you're not running dual wheels.
Right.
You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, you gotta research the motor and the transmission, if you're gonna,
You want a heavy duty transmission,
You're plowing.
Again, it's hard to get a 1 ton with a car
I
transmission.
know, but you get some of these guys,
Yeah.
they'll pull something. Dig it out of California or someplace so you get a bid.
Like the 3/4 on that line, you have to specify a plow package.
Mhm.
But probably 1 ton would have it, but.
No, the
That's-
plow
that's
package is,
specified.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's a heavier front end.
And they all have different plow packages too. Some of them is just a pair of springs and some of them's a whole bunch of stuff. So I kind of listed everything out that we thought we wanted.
Right. Well, the alternators and whatnot, rather than just large capacity alternator, you probably should put in
160
And
amp.
Yeah.
it's an output or somewhat.
or, it does leave it very thin as far as that stuff.
Normal's 120. Heavier ones more like 160.
Take the phone up, either call over to, call a couple places, call over to Norwich Matthews, call over to Dave Reardon, they're both truckmen. They're truckmen, and say, you know, hey, what do you recommend, and then come together with something that, tell them what you're doing with it, and,
They'll create the specs for you.
yeah, they'll, you know, don't let them ride around their truck, say, hey, we
No,
want,
but still.
but they'll give you some real good things on what you want for springs in the back end, and,
The county might have to inspect.
Pickups?
yes,
They don't use
pickups as doing flowers, say you wanna get hold of.
They use half tons for tow trucks or 550s. Their little trucks that they work with are like 550 dump trucks. They don't use
What
much of it.
specs did they use for the Chevy?
I haven't seen their specs. But, he said
He used that through the winter, right?
what's that?
He used that truck through this winter, right?
No, they haven't even ordered it yet.
Oh,
No.
I thought they had already.
No, he has a product, but he didn't list out some of the stuffs. You know,
Just to put it to your minimum requirements, you know.
he put down a 1 ton pickup, sent it out,
Yeah.
so he didn't get a plow package or anything.
That's what I'm
I'm
trying
not
to.
gonna use his specs.
That's what I'm saying, you're going to, well, ask.
No, I thought you said like.
I'll tell you, you got great faith in him, talk to Jamie. He's not a dealer of anything.
Talking about what?
Well, what he recommend for rear ends and motors and different things, transmission? I mean, there's a guy who works on trucks every single day, you know what I mean? And you wouldn't, but you could talk to several different people, like I say, that, because you don't want.
Well, I have a GVWR in here, and that's pretty big. The 10,000 is pretty big for
Well,
us.
that's a rear end, right.
So that's rear end springs right
That's what,
there, right?
well, that's what its loaded weight is. That's what loaded weight is, but they can offset that just by wheelbase. Which way?
I think they'll all be the specs on heavy duty.
Yeah, I think you'll get them, just before you send them out, just ask a couple of them what they recommend, then you can write them right into it. They're gonna come close if they know that they're getting information.
So you want spring rates, transmission, and motor,
I would say.
and alternator capacity.
You know, you might want an extra lead helping springs in. You might want a set of helpers. That's things you're gonna ask.
This is harder than getting a 10-wheeler, getting a pickup.
Well, we can approve it, but just get your specs written so around it so they can't lowball you. You still approve it, to release it, the specs in there. I don't have a problem making a motion to.
Well, if you start specking spring rates and
You know what, you talk to those guys down
you're gonna end up being
We'll have it
spraying.
tomorrow. We'll have it tomorrow. Those guys will tell you what you should have, and you can write it down.
Yeah.
Keep them together, it won't take you long at all.
Okay.
I'm serious. You come over and I'll help you do it if you want me to.
Well, they can drop a set of specs, and then you can look it over and see if that's what you want, or if that's,
If it's
What they
comparable to the
recommend.
other ones, whatever, it's,
you know, they'll write it all down.
Because local guys might do it, but then somebody gets sold this bid from off and they just want to sell a truck down. That's what I'm afraid of. So you gotta have something in there.
Well, if they provide the information, we got the right to reject any bids.
Oh, well, all right.
Then we're not on the hook for it anyway.
Yeah, but I still think you wanna get.
Well,
It's not gonna take anything to get on some specs. I mean,
Or come over in the morning, we'll do it.
come over and we'll make a couple calls.
yeah, shouldn't take long.
Chips, if we do a building, we can stick it on chips. Stick a shed over. I was thinking it might not be a bad idea to have a three-sided pole barn with an outlet in it over by the transfer station someplace. All our material piles are over there, except for the sand pile that we have in our parking lot and our backup sand pile, which is probably 5 years worth of sand that's heaped up down on the back of the fairgrounds. If we had our sand piles somewhere over the transfer station and a building with an outlet in it so we could plug in a block heater, keep the loader right over there, we wouldn't have a sand pile on private property on the fairgrounds. We wouldn't have a sand pile between our building and yours, which is potentially problematic. And it cut down on the traffic on Mill Street, is it? At Mill Street?
Mill. Yeah.
With the, we got heavy trucks with chains on it, we're tough on that street to get in and out of our neighborhood. I don't have a price for you, but we don't need anything fancy, just a outlet for a block heater so we can start that diesel motor on the loader, and we'd have all our materials in one place, free up another bay in the heated barn.
I don't want to throw a monkey wrench in it, I guess only have one comment. If you go to that, they stand up putting a three-sided building, put the fourth side on it. We used to have too much trouble, kids throwing rocks through windows.
Just a pole barn then,
Yeah, something, John.
with a sliding door or
They'll
something.
be in there and he'll go over somewhere and you'll have the windows all knocked out of that loader and everything else. Bad enough with all the padlock on it, but at least it'll have to work a little bit.
If it, you know, your hut's been broken into.
What's that?
Your hut's been broken into.
Don't
What is
know.
on pot?
Oh,
Used to
yeah.
break into that?
I don't know how many times years ago they used to throw the windows right out the wall, yeah.
Yep.
That's why it's not locked.
Because I break into
That's why it's not locked anymore, because
Because they kept breaking
they
in?
kept breaking in. Yeah, it's, like you said, what's in there? But the worst part is somebody getting in there and, you know, like sand down
Fuel.
the fuel, you know, at least with the lock on it, like, you know, somebody's gotta work at it.
Break it, never, That would be my only comment. I don't have a problem doing it, but I just say close it up, you can do it.
That'd be even better. But I don't have a price on that. Wait for Warren to
So,
come back.
do we need to move this truck out to bid?
PJ Brown.
We have a motion?
We'll get the specs everybody's happy with, and then, put it out to bid, because you have to advertise it.
Yeah.
so that everybody knows what you're, what they're bidding on. So everybody's
Right.
apple to apples.
Right. So you wanna hold off the next one,
Yeah, I would hold on.
but get everything together so we can get an actual set of specs right here. I'll help him, I'll get Johnny a hand on that. I'll take one, I'll get him.
I've got nothing else.
Is there any other business?
I'll make a motion.
Wait a minute. One thing, I told Pete I was gonna talk about this. And Pete, I think, is gonna talk to Linda. She was complaining to me awful about the number of people going in there in landfill with out stickers and this and that, and we needed to get in there and new stickers and this and that. And I mentioned that to Pete. Pete said, well, she's not doing everything she was before. Maybe it's her job to get out there and see those people and make sure they are in the town of Morris. She's got a tax book right there. Do it now. If it means changing colors and getting some more stickers.
No, she has stickers.
But,
She's got a bunch of orange stickers. And it's, it's just a matter of, if she doesn't know them, that they live, in town.
well, that's what she said.
Just
There's a lot
ask.
of people she doesn't know where they're
Well,
going. Pete, I'm not doing it, but
Yeah,
I'm
this is-
saying, I think that we ought to talk to her as a board and at least,
Well,
United address it or something.
I explained it to her. The issue, new stickers, it doesn't have to be a big rush.
Right.
Just, when they don't have a sticker,
Let me see.
give
what's
them
not-
a new sticker.
Once she doesn't know.
And if it's somebody that's not in the town,
Well, everybody,
everybody somebody in the town, if she doesn't want to deal with it, write a letter and we can write the number down.
Yeah,
We can write a
she
letter.
knows it, not to confront
Yeah.
anybody that way. But as far as checking with people and be polite, as far as, you're not a resident, or you're not,
Property, you know.
you don't have the authority,
You don't have any
to come
property in
into
the town anymore, right?
And,
Not polite, you go in there and take a left, go backwards around the horn.
but it's, with the recycling the way it is now, she's adequate time to do that.
And if she knows it takes a long time to get through the rodeo.
Yeah, and she's got an updated list. I gave her one not that long ago. So, she should be in good shape. There shouldn't be any need.
You still talking to Pete?
Yes.
She might want to check people she does know, make sure they're still living in the town too.
Now, this is true.
Okay. Motion to adjourn meeting?
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, aye?
Right.
Opposed, nay? Meeting adjourned. You guys will hold on to having an executive meeting.
Okay.